What up, fam? It's your boy Big Q from the Sports Coma coming at you with the second mock draft. It's going to be a little different than the first draft. Of course, we realized that Drew Brees is coming back. The philosophy, what is the philosophy going ahead? And obviously, it's going to kind of point toward Drew Brees, a Super Bowl or bust year, which all of the indication of draft picks should go toward helping the team in this year get to the Super Bowl. Why, if you can, help them absorb some of the pain from some of the players that we possibly gonna lose between this year and next year. So let's get into the mock draft, family. Let's kick it off. The mock draft is done through Fanspeak. You can feel free to go to fanspeak.com and go on the clock and do your own draft. Now here's the mock. As you can see, it's coming down in the first round. The first few picks off the board: Jerry Jeudy to the Jets, Higgins to the Raiders, Tagovailoa goes to Tampa Bay. That's a shame. We don't want to see him. And then you see all these other guys fall off the board. Now, they should have some players involved left. Now, Jason in this draft is available. Jordan Love, CJ Henderson, Grant Delpit is there. Josh Jones out of Houston, which is a really big offensive lineman I like. And then others. You see Justin Jefferson there. So this is a really tough top of the draft, to be honest with you, man. You got Jefferson there. And I told myself, anytime Chase on the pass rusher, that we can definitely use a situational pass rusher. I like CJ Henderson a lot. Grant Delpit to replace Marcus Williams. But we're going to think like the Saints. We're going to think like Big Q doing this draft. We're going to think like the Saints. So I'm going to have to go with Justin Jefferson. I think in any scenario, Justin Jefferson is available there, I think they take him. He's high in the draft. He should be one of your top 15 people on the board. Any scenario puts Justin Jefferson in the Saints uniform, I'll take him. So he addresses one of the immediate needs, which is the wide receiver position. And of course, you realize the Saints do not have a second round pick, so a lot of players are going to fall off the board from the Saints. So we'll just have to patiently wait by as the third round comes. As you see, Brandon Ayuk and Jalen Hurts and all those guys. Jalen goes to Chicago, and all these guys fall off the board. Too bad, because I wanted to draft Jalen Hurts in the third round. That's why it's so imperative to have a second round pick. But you can see coming into that's the second round. Saints didn't have a second round pick. Here's the start of the third round, and you can see at the top of the board a few people there. Now, being that I addressed the need at Justin Jefferson, what should be the next move the Saints look at doing? Clyde Edwards-Helaire will be my pick if he's available. As you can see, at 75 there, he's constantly moving. He probably will be gone by the time I pick, and he is. And Denver took him. So, and then Nick Harris was another guy I liked. But Drew Brees, have to think about Drew Brees and how to fix the offense around Drew Brees. So if that's indeed the case, we have to look at how we can fix this team in terms of the offensive line. I would have to go with the offensive lineman and take Jonah Jackson out of Ohio State, who's the best offensive lineman on the board. And you watch tape on Jonah Jefferson, he's a pretty good offensive lineman, and that fits a need that the Saints need. So we have the wide receiver from LSU. We still scratch Sean Payton's itch to draft an Ohio State guy every damn draft. He gets Jonah Jackson, big offensive lineman out of Ohio State. And of course, the Saints will address two big needs on the offense. They get a guy that can help them, who can basically, who might has the potential to take over the left guard position. And you have Justin Jefferson, a complement player opposite of Mike Tomlin. And of course, the Saints would dress in the offensive line and the wide receiver position. Obviously, KJ Hill would have been a nice pick for a slot man. But with most of these guys off the board, the Saints looking at, okay, if I'm thinking the Saints, maybe Zach Moss I could take just in case a guy like Alvin Kamara pulls the holdout card out. You know, that could be something interesting he might be able to do. But, you know, here you might be looking at bringing in a cornerback or something, but you don't want to reach for a cornerback yet. I would at least like to try to get a defensive lineman to kind of help out, bring in some edge rushability. I mean, my thing is I would take a pass rusher here. I think the Saints definitely can use a pass rusher, and Jabari Zuniga out of Florida is a pretty good pass rusher that can help the team. I think I'll take him there and keep it moving. And then you get value there. You got Justin Jefferson, Jonah Jackson, two potential starters for you. Then you look at your drafting of an edge rusher out of Florida who can come in and be the situational third passer. Plus, going into the Saints' next pick, you would want the Saints to address the cornerback position, and that's what I would do. I would take the cornerback Stanford Samuels III out of Florida State, who can help the team with the 5th round selection. So the Saints take a cornerback, so they get 2 offensive players, Justin Jefferson, Jonah Jackson, with that pick, and then they get an edge rusher and the cornerback. And of course, with the final pick, you'd be kind of looking for value, even though you'd be trying to look to draft the linebacker that might help the team in that position. So Muhammad Berry is okay, but if I'm the Saints, I'm still looking, and I like the wide receiver. I'm gonna go after another wide receiver here, and I like Lynn Bowden out of Kentucky. So we'll patch up the draft with the rest of that. So Justin Jefferson, Jonah Jackson, Jabari Zuniga, Stanford Samuels III, and Lynn Bowden Jr. is this round. This is drastically different than what the previous draft was. Of course, it was a lot different. And the reason why this is a lot different, because these drafts, each draft is different. Each simulation is different. It's not the same. And when you got a guy like Jefferson that falls to you, you got to take it. And Justin Jefferson fell to me at that 24th position. He fills my biggest need, which is the wide receiver position. And I was still able to make do and select them. Of course, the Saints can make moves and pick up more guys or more draft picks as the draft move forward. But this is just, what I'm looking at. So, all right, here it goes. This is the final draft here for my second mock draft. It's a little different than the first mock draft. As you can see, it addressed some needs. The top needs according to what the computer is saying, and I wasn't really giving a damn what they were saying, but quarterback, I just didn't see a quarterback that I was interested in. We get Justin Jefferson here from LSU. He gives you the biggest need that you have. Opposite of Mike Thomas, he gives you a perfect complement with that speed and size and catching ability. Then, of course, with that 88th pick, we took Jonah Jackson, big offensive lineman out of Ohio State, very versatile, can play to fill in for what was Andrus Peat to compete there. So you have potential 2 starters here on your offense. Then, of course, with 127, they said, well, Q, why would you take the edge rusher out of Florida? Because this kid can play. This kid can play. To get him there is good value. Plus, he supplies a need, having a defensive end pass rusher that can help. The team definitely needs another pass rusher. When Davenport went down, they could not produce any sacks from that side with Trey Hendrickson or Granderson playing there. They couldn't do it. Jabari Zuniga could come in and play to help them there. Then with the 5th pick, Stanford Samuels III out of Florida State to fill in to help with the cornerback issues that the Saints have been having problems with. And then with the 6th pick, I took another wide receiver, a very productive wide receiver out of Kentucky named Lynn Bowden Jr. He's a speedster, a guy that helps out there. So I got 2 really nice wide receivers, because in my opinion, the Saints wide receiver room was extremely weak last year. Adding these 2 guys will help that wide receiver position wake up. So we fill some needs here. We get value in the defensive backfield with a young cornerback in Stanford. We get 2 wide receivers that can have impact in the wide receiver room, an offensive lineman with the 3rd round pick for next to nothing to fill in for where Andrus Peat used to be, and an edge rusher to provide depth and productivity behind Davenport, who has proven that he has had issues staying on the field. So this is my mock draft. Please feel free to comment and share the mock as well. Let me know what you think about my mock. Do your own mock on fanspeak.com and send it to me at the PRO Media Network at gmail.com. I'm Big Q. Thank you for joining us on the Sports Coma mock draft. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. Catch the live stream Wednesdays on our middle of the week show and our big live broadcast on Saturdays on our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. Who dat? Peace.
Perfect.